Shit. Holy shit. Man, I can't believe it. What a fucking load of bullshit this is. Unfucking real. Look at that. Cop found not guilty after kneeing on teen's back while off duty. Yes. You remember this story, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. This stupid cop accused of a teenager stealing a bike. And when he's moving another bike to get his own. Absolute crazy. Judge accounts Chicago cop who kneed on a teen's back. Check this shit out.
Judge acquits a cop who decided to kneel on a teen's back. We all saw the video. Let's go to it as a reminder. Here it is.
Angel and Nicole Nieves say their 14-year-old boy, referred to as JN, is still trying to process what happened to him on July 1st.
This was a situation where he faced something that was egregious and tragic, and he did happen to be the only brown boy there, and so that's an important factor with how we are processing this as a family.
Off-duty Chicago Police Sergeant Michael Vitellero was caught on camera pinning JN to the ground after he wrongly accused the boy of stealing his own son's bicycle. Vitellero faces 2 felony charges, one for official misconduct and a second for aggravated battery.
We're so grateful for today's progress towards accountability and towards justice.
The Civilian Office of Police Accountability and Chicago Police Department are also investigating, confirming the sergeant was relieved of police powers on Wednesday.
This is why we follow the cases all the way through.
Exactly.
Because many will assume that justice takes place once a cop is charged with something obviously they should have been charged with. Let's put up the picture full mass. Here's your update to this story. 48-year-old Michael Vitellero, the off-duty Chicago cop who was a sergeant. He was placed on leave when this happened. He had his knee on the back of a 14-year-old child. A 14-year-old child, a minor.
Yes.
He has now been acquitted of aggravated assault and felony official misconduct. The incident occurred last August after he wrongly accused the teen of stealing his son's bike. Disappointed in the judge's ruling, the family vows to file a civil suit. The officer's attorney, James McKay Jr., said in the statement that finding his client not guilty on all counts was the only ruling the judge could have made. It was based on all the evidence presented in court and the Illinois law that applied to the case, period, McKay told CNN. It was not, it cannot be based on any narrative promoted on social media by people who are not there that day. McKay questioned the credibility of prosecution witnesses. The officer's actions were reasonable and not forceful.
That's fucking bullshit. Bull fucking shit.
Did not get a scratch. Well, attorney, that is not the prerequisite for someone to engage in official misconduct.
Yeah.
The fact they don't have a mark on their body.
Yeah, just because, don't have a scratch. That's not the fucking point. The point is that officer put his knee on that young man's back, a minor, 14 years old, put his knee on his back. And that stupid off-duty cop accused him, saying he was trying to steal his son's bike. And he wasn't. He was moving the bike so he could get his own bike.
Body is not a defense. But I will say this. The defense attorney knew what he was doing here because he requested a trial by judge rather than a trial by jury.
Yeah, and here's the thing I always say, if you're taking a trial and you have it by the judge, you're playing baptizing by fire like that. You're playing Russian roulette. You're better off to go by a jury versus a trial by a judge. And if most of the time, if a judge does find somebody guilty, a judge will give a very lenient sentence like that. Versus a jury, a jury's going to give a harsh sentence like that, especially when evidence is presented to them on the table.
Typically, when they do that, they know what kind of personality and judicial philosophy is carried in that courtroom by that judge. There's more. According to the report, the cop had gotten information that his son's bike was stolen from the local library and then seen at a nearby Starbucks, according to a criminal complaint. The video footage from the Starbucks and other businesses in the area showed the teen was not the person who took the bicycle. We were able to establish that when it first happened. He was wrong all the way around. Charged because the DA thought it was a criminal act. He was fired because his agency knew what he did was wrong.
Yep.
And then a judge says, everything he did was actually right. Max, thoughts?
Well, you make a great point there, too, that even though it's your right to ask for a bench trial, It's not a coincidence that a growing majority of police officers and departments request bench trials, because those judges are not completely objective people in robes. They're in many cases politicians who were elected or who were appointed by political leaders.
Yep.
They have a very strong deference to police departments and police authority. I believe in most cases where there is a bench trial of a police officer, even off duty like this, they're acquitted. So it does say quite a bit that police officers don't feel the need to face a jury of their peers, because in many ways they feel like they shouldn't be policed by regular people. And that says quite a bit about where they are.
Yep, and it says a lot of.
You know, and that's the problem. So if you have a bench trial, if you're going to by a judge, you know, because a lot of times, 99.9% of the time, a judge is he's going to re-side and agree with the cops, even if they know they mess up on the job. And another thing as well, yeah, because cops got that thing called qualified immunity as well. Ladies and gentlemen, when you go to, if you have to go to court and by trial, do it by jury, don't do it by judge. And that's what happened with Errol Brand. He got fucked over by a judge, and the judge that fucked him over was retiring 2 days later. So he decided, well, I'm just gonna throw Errol Brand on the bus, 12 years. So yeah. Case in point is, if you're gonna do a trial, do it by jury. Don't do a bench trial. Anyways, I'm out here, my job. Peace out.